Good evening, everybody. Hi, guys. I'm sorry you have my back.
Hope we did do.
The minutes of April 22nd. If hearing no objections, the minutes will be accepted as submitted. Hearing none, so moved. The property manager's report. Ladies, what do you got for us?
Well, you can go ahead, Martha.
For the Royal, our flooring project is going to be ending the end of May. We hope to have our last apartment done on Thursday. So for the first week of June, we're going to be removing the pots from the back of the parking lot. And we already have proposals for repairing the parking lot, the cracks. We're now just waiting for a date based on the company's availability.
Okay. We need to touch base with Joan and find out what the Board of Selectmen are planning to do with that tent. Because if they're gonna do something significant, we need to know before we do any repairs on it.
Which parking lot is?
The Royal. The
Parking
Royal.
lot of the Royal.
They're gonna get rid of the tent?
Well, the tent, they've been telling the EMTs that they're gonna replace that tent. Now, there's no secret, nobody, I would hope this is not a secret for everybody. I hate that tent. I almost take it personally. I think that tent is.
There's all sorts of prefab, garages, kind of stuff you could build on there for very modest.
Take up more space.
Why I'm so
There's a lot of thought.
Why I'm so irritated about that tent, and Todd, I hope you'll back me up on this because you were there. We spoke with the first select woman at the time, it was Jamie Stevenson. And we said, when we were building the Royal, before we put the parking lot, when all that was all torn up, you want a garage, we'll put in a garage.
Yeah.
Tell us what you want. We can put in a garage that matches the Royal, the new building. We can put in a garage that matches the little white house, whatever you want. In fact, because the project was on time and on budget, there was still money in the contingency fund. We'll pay for it. Wouldn't have cost the town of Darien a penny.
What did they do?
We'll think about it. We'll let you know. We'll think about it. We'll let you know. Came time to pave the parking lot. And of course, once we paved the parking lot, there's no way to put footings in for the garage. There was none. Couldn't do it. We put the damn tent back up. And if you've been over there lately, that tent is a mess. It's a mess. It's falling apart. It's got holes in it.
It's an honest one.
It is. And every time the wind blows, it blows over. It's awful.
So go to the blight committee and make.
There you go. And on top of that, the EMTs don't like it either.
So
So
anybody not running any numbers for whatever it costs to do it today?
today, to put a tent, put a garage in there,
Yeah,
it depends on what you did. If you put footings in and put a garage in, probably run you about 150,000.
What?
If you just went and got a prefab and put it on the site, if it ran you 50 grand, that'd be a lot. And take my word for it, I have not looked at any figures, I haven't done any estimates, I promise you. You can quote me on this. If they replace that tent with another tent, it will cost every bit of $50,000 by the time.
Why can't we just price up the cost of redoing it, go to the selectmen and say, this is the cost, period, end of story? I mean, get it done. I mean, it looks like hell. Why not just do it?
If the housing authority
But
wants
you gotta get money, you gotta get a budget for it, and then I think if you go to the selectmen and say, this is the cost of it.
Todd, what's your guesstimate? What would it cost us, and where would we find the money to do it? Oh, Todd.
To do a garage from scratch over there?
Yeah,
Yeah, get rid of that tent, replace it with a garage.
It would be expensive. My guess is it's 6 figures.
100,000.
In that range. Because you're gonna want to bring utilities out there. They're gonna need charging for the
Well, power's
obviously for the lights and then the refrigeration that they have in the truck.
The power is already there. We ran power to the tank, so the power is already there. They have, all the lines are in place. We just have to connect to it.
So why not put together some number, a budget to do the garage, and then, just take it to the selectmen and say, this is the cost, period, end of story. Return down to 10. Force the selectmen, they can find $89 million for Great Island, they can find $100,000 for the 10.
Will it take, just a curiosity question, will it take more space than what it already is using?
No,
No, it's the same location.
no, we put it right where that tank
I mean,
is.
because they have like 4 spaces, don't they? They don't even use them.
We have given them an easement for 6 parking spaces in that location. That number was determined way back when that little house was used by the United. That little house has gone through several iterations since that time. Ultimately, wound up being a home for the EMTs, which is fine. No problem. I think for the Royal, it's a benefit to have that ambulance right there if we need to live there.
Well, I'm not talking about that being located there, I don't have an issue with that.
Yeah.
My question is for the parking spaces that they're taking.
They take the same number of spaces they have now, we won't increase the number of spaces. And the reason they have the number of spaces they do is for shift change. So that the new shift coming on has a place to park before the old shift going out moves their cars. There's always a couple of empty spaces over there.
Or more often than not.
Oh,
And when the ships
absolutely.
come in.
Yeah, because the shift change on has to be punched up. But it's, you know, it's not like, the place is overloaded with parking.
So Joe, why don't we,
The chair will entertain a motion to approach the Board of Selectmen with some numbers, and force the issue.
so
Do I have a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Todd, will you run us some numbers, please?
Yeah, I can get some ballpark numbers for that. I'm just thinking aloud, is it worth approaching anybody at like DPW or anything? I don't know if they have done anything recently that would be comparable or not.
We can ask them. Somebody's got some numbers already done.
Yeah,
Why would-
and at the same time, we can get some basic numbers at this, as well.
Yeah.
And
My
we can compare
suggestion
notes.
is I would dump this right on John Zabrowski's desk. And if he has any questions about the numbers, let him go figure out whatever alternate numbers are. But from this commission, I would just say, this is the cost, period. You want to get it done. Don't mess
Yeah, no, that
around.
sounds fair enough.
Okay,
Done.
all right, done. Thank you. Next, what do you got?
Manager's report from the Heights, not much to report. We just had the filters being replaced. We're scheduling our dry and vent cleaning for the season. And we are continuing with the fire marshal inspections. And that's it. Filters and dry vent cleaning. We started already with the filters. We're just scheduling the dry vent cleaning for next week.
We've done all the filter replacements at the Royal.
For here, we're not done yet. We're in the process.
One other observation, Matt, here got a tree which has a limb that looks like it's pretty much gone. So at some point in time, we probably should get somebody in to get a quote to just remove that one limb. It's a big one that comes down and would be.
Are you talking about the
Right here.
middle tree?
Right, one that's facing, looking towards Throat Avenue.
Okay, so that tree
on the left.
it doesn't belong to us. It's in the street.
It's a town.
Yeah, it's a town-owned tree.
Within the.
Yeah, because last time when we had the storm, halfway fell off and we were about to clean it up and then they show up to clean it up and they informed me that that's not our tree. I can let them know.
Right, because I'd hate to have them take the tree down, it's just get the one limb which.
Yeah, it doesn't belong to us. It belongs to
Okay.
the town.
Public
So,
Works is very good at taking down.
yeah, I'll send a message and let them
That's the problem.
know.
Well, don't take no for an answer. Tell them to go do
No,
it.
we don't want them to take down the tree.
No,
Just put it
that
on.
limb right there, I can see it.
The one limb. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's-
I'll send an email and let
Frank
them
said
know.
they're very good at taking down trees. They are. Would you please, we got a dead limb on a tree, could you remove it?
Yeah.
Back the next day, the tree is gone.
I will send them an email and let them know. And you were also telling me about the carpet, right?
Yeah, rug here, that's to me a maintenance item, find a replacement rug for it which isn't frayed and make the place look like it's,
Replace the rug in the community room? Okay. All right. That's it for the height.
Anything else?
No?
Anything from the audience?
Yes. I've been getting these little black, bugs in my house. And it seems to be only up in the morning when I get up and I find them in the kitchen. They're not flies, but they do have little wings. And this is the picture of them. And I have no idea where they're from. You can make it bigger, but they're small, but that's what they look like.
That's a moth.
Is it a sort of moth? It's all black.
It looks like a moth.
So where are they coming from? If it's just, I only see them in the morning, like maybe 2 the most. And I found one in our bathtub yesterday.
Oh, that's a difference. One in your bathtub?
Yeah, he took a shower.
So,
He took a shower.
So I did enter a work order for, remember last time Cesar was there and went to do a work order and he did spray in the areas that you thought they were coming out. And so we will call pest control and find out maybe they can do a more deeper investigation.
Also check in.
It's not coming from your patio, you leaving your patio door open? Okay, I'm gonna enter a service request and call pest control.
do you have a contract with pest control?
Yeah, I'm a contact pest control. We already had a service request done by Cesar.
And, the woman that lives in, my building, 1A, she couldn't come, Penny, tonight because she's not well. But, last summer, and, Merlin knows about it, her living room floor was completely wet. And she had to have a dehumidifier and a fan that, Myrna brought in. So she's a little concerned about it happening again this summer. Now-
Sprinkler system?
No, we had to, so it's also a service request. Also, Roseanne, remember I explained to you guys and I explained it to her that unfortunately when she moved in, she was messing with the air condition with the AC, which she was bumping it out. So she was creating, and then she was opening her windows. So she was creating a lot of moisture in her house. She doesn't have any carpeting, she has floor, so it shouldn't be. And then the other conception was that when the sprinkler system went on, but and then it quickly stopped after we contacted the HVAC company, we cleaned her HVAC machine, we got her a dehumidifier. We did a lot of things to remedy the moisture in the unit, which it did stop. But then they have this conception that thinks that this water is coming through the sprinkler system, so it stopped.
It's very wet there, I have to say, and this is the way our entrance looks, at times. This is the main- It's a little on the windy side and it's a little, so we don't know if the water is doing.
So we had to wait till as the sprinklers go on, and she hasn't reported any issues of moisture again, so we can't really determine if the issue stopped last year. So if it comes back again, then we definitely can look into whether any of the sprinkler system is in a location it shouldn't be, and some way some water is entering through there. Because she also has a patio door as well, right in the back with the grass.
If you have it's over the HVAC system, so if you have all your windows.
Yes,
open,
so that's why we determined, correct. So we had to, no, she used to, yeah, she did. So, yeah, she was turning her AC on, and it will get too cold, so she will open her windows to get fresh air. Yes. So, but remember the last time that we,
I think there's some.
yeah. So we really had to just, determine once it comes back, she has to do the same thing you do, report it to the office, enter a service request, and we follow up that way. That's the only way we can really determine whether it's a major issue there or not.
Relative to the outside, is her place on the same grade, or is it higher than the grade outside?
I don't, I wouldn't.
My
be able
point
to-
is, if you had a lot of rain, it could wash into her unit.
Yeah.
As opposed to it's higher than the grade outside.
She's right, their patios are right off, and they're in the bottom floor. But
Is
we
there a
didn't,
basement underneath?
no, basement. But it's strange that, you know, the sprinkler system are located there and the other units don't have that issue. So again, like from the last time we spoke, but that's what I'm saying. The last time when we spoke, we determined because of the different things with the AC, we did find a few issues with the AC, and then she was creating more moisture. So we just gotta determine once it comes back and investigate again, because it did stop.
Next time we have someone,
I don't live here any longer, but if you look at their front door, and you look at it very carefully, it looks like it slants towards her apartment.
See, that's the problem. She's below grade, and there's any kind of rain and moisture in the
I
atmosphere.
can look into her door. Maybe we can have weather stripping or anything like that. I can look into.
next time somebody from maintenance is in the area, we will call. I'm
It's
serious,
right.
because
There's a drip or something.
I can speak from personal experience. Let's look at the ceiling around the
The
vent
gutters, yeah,
for the air conditioning to see if there's any water spots.
yeah. Yeah, no, we haven't found anything in the unit. That's why we already did a home
What happened
investigation.
is that the way these air conditioning units are, each apartment has
Their own.
a drip can.
Yeah.
And if the drip can gets a leak,
Yeah.
then it just locks up the ceiling. And
But the
I
big,
gotta tell you what happened to me.
But the-
It never occurred to me to look up. I was looking down at the floor. What the heck is going on with the floor?
oh, this one is different though. But the biggest issue that mostly a lot of the seniors have here is that once it gets too cold, they either turn it off or they bump it into heat
Yeah.
or they open the window. Right away, you create a moisture.
Yeah.
Going from cold, when they get too, so if 69 is too cold for you, put it at 70, 71. But don't turn it off and bump it into heat or turn it off and open your windows. You're gonna create the moisture.
Part of the problem is you get a large building like that,
Mm-hmm,
and you get a leak up on the fourth floor,
Mhm.
water travels.
yeah.
I mean, it'll just travel, just because of gravity, it'll find its own way. And if you're the lowest one of the unit at the bottom of the ground floor, that's where the water's gonna go.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you right now, if we get a leak on the fourth floor, I'm pointing at Joan. What happened?
It's also.
In building one? Okay, I can put it in service report. Building one.
Never keep an eye on it. If there's anything questionable at all, let us know.
Are those floating floors?
Hmm?
They're floating, because if there's water underneath, it comes up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly, and it's not, and we did that unit like 2 years ago now. She's the second person, yeah. We just gotta wait till, if it comes back again, we just gotta start a new investigation. Anything else that you guys lately have?
Okay, I'd like to change the order of the agenda. The agenda says new business next, old business first. Then we'll get to new business.
Yeah, we did, oh, no, we didn't.
Oh, we did.
We always said, we're gonna
I
change
know.
it.
Old business. Todd, at the Royal, where are we with the trees? Have we got any information, any further information about this?
Good night, thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Yep. So Myrna and Sheila have an update on that.
Yes, so we've looked at the trees, Joe, and we've studied the property lines, and there's one tree that looks like it's dying, and that tree is clearly on the neighbor's property. It's not on the property for the Royal. So we're gonna send notification to that owner that that tree looks like it's decaying, and he needs to address that tree. The trees on the Royals property, there's a little bit of cleanup that we need to address. There's also some vines that are wrapping around some of the trees that are on our property. And we're gonna have the landscaper cut back those vines just so it doesn't smother the trees and it keeps them healthy.
Okay.
Would it make sense, instead of just sending a note to the neighbor, to maybe get together with them and walk it and explain?
Certainly, we can have Marisol reach out to him if she's comfortable. We've been communicating with him by email, so we do have an email address for him as well, but we can.
And we do
certainly
want to
reach
make
out
sure it's on the
him.
record too, right? That we're making this request as well.
Right. The reason for it being on the record is because if he doesn't address it and it causes damage to the property, then we have some recourse against him. Otherwise, it's just an act of God if we do nothing and don't put it on the record and something happens.
I said, if you want me to go with you, talk to you.
Question, is there a safety issue?
No.
Right,
It doesn't look like to me it's a safety issue. No, it's not bleeding. It doesn't look like it's going to hit anything if it falls.
Something, one of those trees fell down.
That's my point.
It could damage somebody's car. The only safety issue is
No, it's not going to hit anyone's car.
something in their car.
It's
The
pretty.
only reason I
it's
raised,
existing.
the only reason I
Yeah.
raised the issue is when housing authority talks to a neighbor and tells them they gotta cut down a piece of one of their trees or something like this. You might want to reinforce that notice with a CC the Department of Public Works. So they know that the municipality is watching what's going on and it's just a neighbor to neighbor. Put a little bit of juice into the notice.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
All right. What else under old business? Anything else? Anybody got anything else? Something left over from last week?
No, the patios, but they're almost done. The patios here.
But that's under.
It's in progress.
They're making progress. There's nothing.
Nope.
Nothing new to report, nothing strange. No, we haven't found anything bizarre.
No, we just
Good.
continue around.
New business. What do we got on the new business? Anybody got any new business? I got new business.
You mentioned the meeting.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so we got a call from a couple of people in the Housing Authority of Buchanan asking to get together, and the purpose was we're in the same business, if you will, and let's just trade notes and see if there's some ways we can learn from each other and what we're doing, what we're not doing. So Joan and I went up to New Canaan and met with Scott Hobbs as their chairman and Peggy Donaher, who's on the commission, and just got a nice, I thought, very, very informative and a very positive gathering. And they are similar to us in some ways. They had two properties which they've had to renovate in the last, let's say, 15 years, so similar to having the Heights and the Royal be redeveloped. But one thing that that they have done, which is to me intriguing, was when the Avalon property in New Canaan came on the market, they went out and bought it and were able to raise the funds. And I would really like to get back together with them and do a deeper dive on how they financed it. But basically they had a combination of some town money, some of their money, and Fannie Mae special purpose bonds. And they were able to raise a total of $79 million. I want to say it's something like 74 million to actually buy the property, and then additional monies for contingencies, legal, all the stuff which goes along with it, and have reserve. The desired goal would be to turn it 100% into affordable, but financially that's not going to work out. So there is a portion which is currently affordable. They're going to be adding 20 more units to that affordable combination. And over time, as the numbers foot out, they will hopefully be able to convert more to affordable from being market rate. So now they are in a unique situation in that they're landlords for a market rate facility, which also has affordable as well as strictly affordable units. It was, again, very interesting to hear, what they went through, and they, I think Joe might agree that they bit off a lot.
They did, and it's an interesting setup because much like Darien, they're still in a position where it's not enough, and they're exploring ways to have more. But this approach of adding market rate units to the mix, for us, this setup has been relative. And Todd, I'm not trying to oversimplify it, but the fact of the matter is there's a lot of things we don't have to deal with because everything is affordable. And everything is affordable by deed. So there's no changes on the horizon. These buildings are what they are, and they're gonna stay what they are. When you start getting into this mix of affordable and retail, and you're converting retail to affordable on the fly,
Yeah.
it makes the financing and the rent structures and all the rest of it that much more complicated. And I don't want to minimize that. I think what this requires is some more conversations between our housing authority and their housing authority. I think the next time we decide we're going to go talk to them, we should get some input from Todd on the financial side of it to look at how it's being done and what should or should not be done. But it's, you know, they got the same problem we have. They got people screaming for housing and they just don't have the housing. So,
We have a lot of people on the waiting list for New Canaan. I had 2 residents who recently moved in. They came from there. Yeah, and they,
It's an area-wide problem,
Yeah.
for sure, but
No question about it.
New Canaan and Darien are unique in that we're more fully developed in New Canaan, but we're still both towns there. Been established for hundreds of years, and now trying to squeeze affordable housing in is a challenge.
and the reality is there are apartments galore being built in Darien right now. Okay, there's a whole bunch that have been finished, and there's a whole bunch more that are under construction. The question is, do those apartments, or whatever they are, do they actually meet the housing needs for the town of Darien? And the answer is, on paper, maybe they do, but in reality, maybe they don't. The thought was, if we go back, you know, a few years and we look at where some of these projects, look at Avalon, which is now the Everland. When that was originally conceived, this was thought of as an apartment complex, retail with a few below market rate units so they could get the size that they wanted to get. The thought was these would be housing units, the apartments, people would move in and stay there. No, that's not what happened. People moved in there, stayed there for a few months, and moved on, because either they were looking for a house in Darien, or they bought a house that was being remodeled, or whatever. They were looking for temporary housing, they found it at the Avalon. And in all fairness to the landlords at the Avalon, they didn't care if these people stayed 2 months, because they have a waiting list. So the minute an apartment is available, they've got somebody to fill it right away. They're not, you know, if you're a landlord and you're hunting for tenants, and the tenant comes in and says, I'll sign a 1-year lease, and then 2 months into it, so now I'm out because the constructor, or I found a house sooner than I thought I would.
I'm sure the month-to-month rates are much higher than the lease rates.
Yeah, right, absolutely.
They are.
Of course. But again, if you've got a waiting list and you know that you can fill that unit almost immediately, you know.
but the new building for Avalon here in the Rio don't have affordable housing anymore.
No,
took
they've all been converted.
They took it away, yeah.
Yeah.
They took it away.
Yeah. So that's a whole different.
And these
idea.
new buildings have 10% of affordable, but a lot of people,
Are they 10 or 14?
10.
10%.
10%. But a lot of people who have come and asked here, they have called and the waiting list is already completed.
Of course.
The building is not even done and the units are already they already rented.
Of course.
They already have people moving in one day open.
Because it's very minimal.
Yeah.
And we got people that'll pay retail $4,500, $5,000 a month for these apartments.
Yeah.
All of that. So, you know, I'm just starting.
For 1 bedroom.
I'm getting down base rate. To only stay there 6 months because they're in Florida the rest of the time. Or staying there 4 months, whatever. They don't want to lose.
They're paying more in the city life.
So it's an interesting concept. And we need to think in terms of what we're going to look like 10 years from now, 15 years.
How much residual land was left on the Avalon site? Remember, from planning and zoning? There was a chunk of land back there that was,
Say 4 acres, I think.
A little more than that. Not much more, but a little more than
there's a wetlands issue that.
Yes.
So it's,
Yeah, but that was also a dump.
well, yeah,
I
right.
mean, it's all, who knows whether.
Wait a minute. Are you implying when the gravel pit was there that there was some dumping going on back there? Back in those days, if you need to change the oil on the truck, you just open the thing, dump the oil on the ground. Some of it went out with the next load of gravel, some of it stayed behind. Nobody cared.
Everyone had gravel driveways.
Yeah, that's right, nobody. Now everybody cares. But at any rate, we need to continue to look at all of these things. And as property comes on the market here in Darien, we need to look to see if there's some way, some of this bonding that we heard about from New Canaan that we might look into. We're still, I at least still fondly think that maybe some of that property over on Tokeny Road.
That was, my concern is that once that goes, it's gonna be gone.
Yeah.
And it'd be really nice to.
We'll never get it back.
Yeah, figure out some way to at least tie it up to be able to spend the time to figure out if it's doable or not.
Yeah. So at any rate, it was an interesting trip. We'll plan another one. We'll get Todd involved the next go around. By the way, New Canaan, we were up at the Canaan Parish building, and it's quite a building.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you have been up there, but it's
That's very impressive.
it is impressive.
The new building?
Well, I don't know how new that building is. Canaan Parish.
Yeah.
Quick question, Scott Hobbs, is that Hobbs, the residential builder family?
He does single family mostly in New Canaan, and
For years, they've been there for years.
yeah, sure.
Is his father still alive, Ned Hobbs?
I just know Scott.
Yeah.
But they did, yeah, no, the other development was done within the past 4 years or so, maybe 3 years.
Right.
And the most recent one is it's fantastic. They did not spare any cost. And it reflects the community that it's in, and it looks fantastic.
Yep.
So I'm pretty sure that his father and I went to school together, but I know Ned Hobbs.
You can do a lot of that when you have retail market rate offsetting what you're doing with
Portable.
affordable. You know, you make some decision on where you're gonna put the costs, who's gonna foot the bill. And, you know,
You might want to have a conversation with CHFA and your asset manager there to see what type of funding they have
yeah.
available.
What else have we got under new business? Anything? Anybody got anything else? I got one other comment. I'll bring it up under new business, since nobody else is here, I don't know who's paying attention online.
We're still recording.
And we're not being filmed by 79, so
We're still recording.
we're still recording. That's all right, I don't mind.
So let me know if you want me to stop the recording.
I had a meeting this morning with the first one. I am up for renewal of my term here on the Housing Authority. I'm well beyond renewal time. And we discussed whether or not I would actually stay on the housing. I've been chairman of this commission for quite some, I don't know how many years, but it's a long time. And the question comes up whether it's time for new leadership. I'm hoping, I don't know for a fact because we didn't talk about it that way, but I'm hoping that's not a reflection on my leadership. Just, it's time for change. And I don't have a problem. The question is if we brought in new leadership. If we brought in new leadership, I wonder who we would bring in for new leadership.
And we already have ones we can select over here.
Well, you know, you didn't see this, but
We like,
we got figures.
we got fingers pointing.
And that's the discussion that the housing authority has to have.
You gonna stick around?
Well, that's the big question. Whether I would stay as a member of the housing authority without that position, or would I look elsewhere? You guys all know me, you know me for a long time. There's not much in this town I haven't stuck my finger into. John and Linda gave me a complete list of all the current boards and commissions and where the vacancies are. Left it up to me to decide whether or not there's something I'd want to do other than what I've been doing.
You bring a lot of history to the table.
Well, that's the big thing. I've been here a very long time and I know a lot about.
We already have two of the other commissioners who left, right? We're gonna have Emmanuel and the other lady left. They're not gonna be here tomorrow, right?
Correct, because you almost placed the manual.
Yeah.
And Joan is, definitely will not be coming back to meetings.
Is she gonna be replaced too, or?
Well, she should be replaced, and I know she, among people, notified the Democratic Town Committee who has to be appointing, so I'm not sure where that process is. So then we have Joe, who's the resident.
Joe Farman.
And then my only question is, how often does election for president have to affect?
It's I think it was every 4 years, and this is his second year.
Second year?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's got a couple more.
Yeah, I gotta look into it more, but I think it was 4 years, because we just, it was, what was her name? Forgot her name. Jane Matthews.
Right.
Yeah, Jane Matthews was here for quite some time.
Right.
So I think it's 4 years, but I can look into it too.
Okay, that's one.
Yeah.
Because to your point, reappointed is.
So you're a resource. You're a resource. So we don't want to lose.
Fred, I appreciate you saying that. And I need you to understand, that even if I were to decide I wanted to try another board or commission.
Is there any other board you haven't been on?
It is a few. Somebody suggested I might look at the Commission on Aging. I'm not sure that's a good.
You don't want to leave.
On which one? Then you'll be against them.
Which one is it?
Commission on Aging.
Oh, hey, Joe. Oh,
You cannot do that one. Absolutely not.
So is anything we can do for his renewal of the lease? He's gonna have to move out too. No, please.
Joe's got enough problems as it is without having me on that service.
No. I mean, maybe you can go be a voice for us.
Well, I mean, there's good sides and bad sides to this. I've been around as long as I have. I know a lot. But there's also the fact that I may know too much.
Mhm.
And you all know how calm and collected I am. Not that I would express an opinion.
Well, all you say is, you're a real resource. We really appreciate it, and follow your heart, do it. Like at this stage, is the right thing for whatever.
That's best for you.
I would also tell you that even if I left this housing authority, it doesn't mean I'm not still a resource. I'd still be a tenant at the Royal. I have no intention, unless Patty knows something I don't know. I'm not planning on moving in the near term. So I'll keep you all up to date. I just wanted to let you know the conversations have begun. And nobody should be shocked that these conversations.
So the next chairman gets appointed by the select, or they have to apply?
The Board of Selectmen would appoint, first of all, there will come a time when they're gonna they've replaced Emmanuel with Fred. They're gonna replace Joan. So we'll have a couple of new members on the commission. The commission, if the Board of Selectmen wishes, if John tells me, Joe, we'd really like you to step down, I will present that to the authority. It's up to the authority. We're not beholden to the Board of Selectmen. We are a state agency. We can bring it up during a meeting, schedule a time to vote at a future date, and the commissioners, the authority members can determine whether or not they want me to stay on as their chairman or not. Now, all of that would presuppose who would decide that if I step down, I could say myself, guys, it's been fun, but I'm tired. Find somebody new. That doesn't mean I'm surrendering my seat on the commission. It just means I don't want to be the chairman anymore. And then it would be up to the remaining commissioners to determine who they want to be. And it would be up to the remaining commissioners who want to step up and take the job as chairman. And, I will tell you, for those of you who are going to have to consider this in the not too distant future, you're not in this alone, you have plenty of really good help,
Mhm.
you know, to do what needs to be done.
You're not going back into the birdseed business, are
I
you?
am not going back into the business, I'm not doing any business.
Hey, the pet business is growing, see that?
I have a lot of fun, and it's interesting to bring that up because I have an awful lot of people at the firehouse yesterday who were coming up to get hot dogs, asking me when I was gonna reopen the store. Yeah. Well, because they have to drive up to Bedford Hills now to get the birdseed, you don't wanna do that.
No, I got a Petco.
Yeah.
Petco's still in Stanford, right?
Not the same quality.
All right, so that's all I have to say. I've let everybody know what's going on. And I'll be honest with you, Patty's gonna have some input into this also. Because as much as we do get at each other once in a while, Patty does, overall, she'd like me to be happy. And she knows sitting around the house doing nothing, while for the short term, I'm content, that's not really what makes me happy. Having an opportunity to express my opinion is where truly. So that's where we're at. Anything else we got tonight?
No.
Do we have anything for executive session?
No?
In that case, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.